Hello everyone, this is Keith Rowe with Vital Healing. Thank you for joining me as we take some time together to slow down and reflect. Each week on this podcast, I share the spoken version of my Substack writing. These pieces are not meant to persuade or convince, just to offer a place to pause and notice what feels alive for you. Today's reflection explores what it means to live in a state of constant activation, how that shows up in our bodies and our relationships, and why restoring presence has become central to my own work. Wherever you are listening from, you're invited to settle in and to notice what resonates. The cost of constant activation, how we end up exhausted, reactive, or numb. I've noticed something unsettling about how we're living right now. You can turn on the news and see unrest and upheaval in one place, and then step into a gas station or a grocery store somewhere else, and everything looks calm, orderly, routine. And people are moving through their day, filling their cars, buying snacks, and heading somewhere. But it doesn't feel like presence. It feels like going through the motions, a kind of checked out steadiness that passes for normal because it's familiar. There is a quiet disconnection that has become socially acceptable. It's as if we've learned how to function while staying slightly removed from what's actually happening, both around us and inside of us. The body keeps moving and life keeps happening, but something essential isn't fully present. What's easy to miss is that activation doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't always show up as anger, panic, or conflict. Just as often, it shows up as quiet vigilance. It may appear as staying busy or distracted, are moving through the day without fully arriving. Our nervous systems can be activated even when the surface looks calm. I'm not talking about whether anger or grief are appropriate responses to what's happening in the world. I'm talking about how often our bodies never get a chance to come out of activation at all. The baseline has shifted so far toward urgency, alertness, and reaction that settling feels unfamiliar and even suspicious. When this becomes normal, we don't experience it as distress. We experience it as being informed, engaged, productive, and awake. But the nervous system experiences it as never quite resting. And a body that never rests has a hard time staying present, empathetic, or capable of holding complexity for very long. From the perspective of the body, much of modern life quietly keeps us cycling through a few familiar patterns. We become certain and reactive, quick to defend or justify ourselves, or we drift into distraction and avoidance, numbing out just enough to get through the day. Or maybe we keep taking in more and more news, content, stimulation, or productivity without even having the space to digest what we've consumed. We fall into a repeating loop of fight, flight, or consume. These aren't moral failures. They're survival responses, ancient and intelligent ones. But they were never meant to become permanent ways of living. When survival becomes the default, presence narrows and empathy becomes harder to access. Nuance begins to feel overwhelming, and everything starts to register as threat, demand, or scarcity. Some people express that pressure loudly. Others disappear into quiet compliance or distraction. And both are signs of nervous systems that have been activated for too long. And this is why so much of my work has turned toward breath, walking, and slowing down. not as an escape from the world, but as a way of restoring capacity inside it. Because no matter how justified our feelings may be, a chronically activated body eventually loses the ability to respond with care. We've seen throughout history that without care, even the most righteous causes begin to fracture. The more that we come back to ourselves and back to our felt experience, the more capacity we have to stay present and participate with the world around us. As this reflection time draws to an end, I want to thank you for taking a moment to listen and to sit with this reflection. If this resonates with you, you can find the written version of the piece on Substack, along with other essays and resources centered on embodiment, healing, and coming back into relationship with ourselves. Within our community, we offer a free monthly online breathwork gathering where we work directly with the body as a way of restoring capacity, presence, and care. You'll find a link to that below if you'd like to join us. That's all for this week. Again, thank you for joining me on this vital healing journey as we find our way back to ourselves and back to each other. Until next time.